Okay, so you want the key info like right now without wading through everything. That's what we do here. Today, we're diving into the 2025 Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, and we've got some interesting stuff to look at, news reports, hot off the press, the Wikipedia page for the basics, and even an academic paper looking at the money side of things, different angles.
Exactly. Our mission really is to just pull out the most important bits, the stuff you'd want to know about this year's race and maybe, why it matters.
So let's get into it. The 151st Run for the Roses.
May 3rd, 2025, Churchill Downs, and the horse first across the line, Sovereignty.
Right, Sovereignty. And what's interesting, he wasn't like a total long shot, but definitely not the top pick going in. He'd won the Fountain of Youth, finished second in the Florida Derby.
So he showed some promise, some stamina for that Derby distance.
Exactly. Hints that he could handle the mile and a quarter.
And a big day for the connections. Junior Alvarado, the jockey, his first Derby win ever.
Huge for him. And for the trainer, Bill Mott, it was his second. Remember, he trained Country House back in 2019.
Oh, yeah, the one who won after the disqualification.
Right, that's the one. And the owner, Gadalton Sheikh Mohammed's operation, this was actually their first Kentucky Derby win.
Wow, really? For an operation that big, that's surprising. A major milestone for them in the U.S.
Absolutely. Shows their focus on American racing is really paying off at the highest level.
And didn't they have a massive weekend overall?
Oh, unbelievable. They also won the Kentucky Oaks the day before with good cheer.
Doing the Oaks Derby double. How often does that happen?
Almost never. Head of Plains Partners did it in 2018 with Manamoy Girl and Justify, but before that, you have to go back to 1952, Calumet Farm, for a single owner sweeping both.
Incredible. Really speaks to the strength of their horses right now.
For sure. And it's funny because the morning line favorite was actually journalism at 3-1 odds.
And Sovereignty was what, like 7-1, 9-1, depending on where you look?
Yeah, around that range. So definitely not the horse everyone had circled initially.
Okay, so the race itself, I heard the track wasn't exactly pristine.
No, definitely not. It was officially sloppy. They had rain for like 2 days straight leading up to it.
Sloppy track. That always throws a wrench in things, doesn't it?
It really can. Apparently, it's only the 10th time in Derby history the track was sloppy, but interestingly, the second time in just the last 7 years.
Huh. So who went out to the front early in the mud?
Looks like Citizen Bull and Neo Equos set the early pace. Seemed pretty quick.
And where was Sovereignty during all this? Taking it easy.
Way back. Yeah, Alvarado settled him along the rail, maybe 16th place early on. Saving ground, waiting.
16th on a sloppy track sounds daunting. How did he make up that ground?
Well, he just started picking off horses, made this sustained run around that final turn as the early leaders started to tire coming into the stretch.
He was moving.
He was moving. And it basically came down to him and the favorite, journalism.
So they hooked up for the final stretch.
Yeah, they battled it out for a bit, head to head down the lane. But in that last furlong, Sovereignty just found another gear, pulled away, won by about a length and a half.
Nice, clear win in the end.
Yeah.
And I heard Bayiza ran a big race for third, especially getting in late.
Yeah, impressive run from him. Came from way back, 15th, I think, to grab third. Great story.
What did the jockey say afterwards? Always interesting to hear their take.
Well, Alvarado on Sovereignty said he felt he had the horse, like at the 5/8 pole, just needed room to run.
Just needed daylight.
Exactly. Rispoli on journalism, the second place horse, basically said, look, I had the trip I wanted. Sovereignty was just better today.
Honest assessment.
Yeah. And Pratt on Bayiza mentioned the pace wasn't quite as fast as he thought it would be, so he had to adjust. And a few others, like the jockey on Citizen Bull.
Let me guess, didn't like the mud.
Bingo. Said the horse just wasn't handling the slop at all. Same for Admire Daytona's jockey.
It just shows so many things have to go right. The horse, the trip, handling the conditions.
Absolutely. And speaking of conditions, the Derby itself, this was the 151st running. The history there is just immense.
That's the longest continuously running sporting event in the U.S., right? Since 1875.
Every single year. Think about that. Through world wars, the Great Depression, pandemics. It just keeps going. It's woven into the American fabric, really.
And it's got a complex history, too, especially regarding the jockeys early on.
That's a really important part of the story. In the first few decades, black jockeys were incredibly dominant, won 15 of the first 28 derbies.
Wow, 15 of 28.
Yeah, the very first derby, 13 out of the 15 riders were black. But then came a long period of exclusion. From about 1920 all the way until 2000, no black jockeys rode in the race.
It's a long time. It's crucial context to remember.
Definitely. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Let's talk money. The betting handle this year was apparently...
Huge. Record-breaking, actually. They said $234.4 million bet just on the Derby race itself.
Whoa, just the one race?
Yep, and the whole Derby day card, all the races that day, brought in $349 million in bets.
That's staggering.
Just shows the sheer scale of interest and, well, gambling surrounding the event. Its appeal isn't fading, clearly.
So for the folks who backed Sovereignty, number 18, what did the payouts look like?
Okay, so a standard $2 win bet paid $17.96. Pretty decent return.
Not bad for a 7 or 9 to 1 shot.
Right. Place on journalism, #8 paid $4.94. Show on Baeza, #21 paid $8.38. The Exacta, 18-8, paid $48.32 for $2.
Okay, getting juicier. Trifecta.
The Trifecta, 18-8-21, paid $115.56, but that was for a 50-cent bet, so double that for a $1 bet.
Nice. Superfecta, first 4.
18-8-21-3, that paid $1,682.27 for a $1 stake.
It's serious money now.
And then the big one, the Super High Five, getting the first 5 horses right, 18-8-21-3-20, a $1 ticket on that.
How much?
$38,405.96.
Wow. Somebody had a very good day.
You think? Definitely life-changing money for some bettors.
Okay, besides the betting, what about the actual prize money for the race? The purse.
The total purse was $5 million this year.
$5 million. And the winner, Sovereignty's team, gets the biggest chunk. Yep, $3.1 million for first place.
And second place, journalism.
They got $1 million. Third place, Baeza, got $500,000. Fourth got $250K. Fifth got $150K. So significant money down to fifth place.
And the jockey and trainer usually get a piece of that winner's share, right?
Typically, yeah. Standard is about 10% each for the jockey and trainer. So Alvarado and Mott likely pocketed around $310,000 each from the win.
A very good payday for them, too. So what's next for Sovereignty? Everyone's going to be talking Triple Crown now, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. That's always the next question after the Derby winner crosses the line. The Preakness Stakes is next, up on May 17th.
So will he run?
The team said they'll see how he comes out of the Derby, check his condition, and then decide. It's a quick turnaround.
And winning the Triple Crown Derby, Preakness, Belmont, is just so incredibly hard.
It really is. Only 13 horses have ever done it. Justify in 2018 was the last one. Takes a special kind of horse.
Adds a whole lot of excitement to the next few weeks, though, if they go for it.
Definitely keeps people watching.
Okay, last piece here, the economic impact. The Derby must be huge for Louisville.
Oh, massive. Though pinning down an exact number is tricky. You know, different studies, different methods.
What kind of range are we talking?
Well, there was an older study from 2001 that put it around $217 million. Louisville Tourism uses a newer model that gets closer to $400 million.
That's a big jump, but inflation probably counts for a lot of that.
Yeah. If you adjust that 2001 number for inflation, it lands somewhere around $375 million. So
Yeah.
It's in that ballpark. Hundreds of millions flowing into the local economy.
It really is an economic engine for the city.
Absolutely. And that's not even counting Churchill Downs' regular operations year-round. But they estimate something like 90% of their annual impact happens just during Derby week.
Wow. And jobs, too, right? Lots of temporary work.
Yeah, over 10,000 temporary workers hired just for the Oaks and Derby days. Ushers, concessions, security, all that.
And tax revenue.
Oh.
Does the city and state see a big benefit?
Generally, yes. The federal government usually does well from taxes, but local and state impacts tend to be positive too, especially in a, normal year without major disruptions.
Okay, so wrapping this up, we had Sovereignty winning a muddy 151st Kentucky Derby, a first for Godolphin, record betting, huge payouts.
A significant historical event and a massive economic driver for Louisville. Quite a story this year.
It really is. And it kind of makes you think, beyond just the 2 minutes of the race, what makes the Derby stick around? Why does it resonate so much after 150-plus years?
That's the big question, isn't it? Is it just the history, the hats and the spectacle, the gambling, the dream of a Triple Crown? Or maybe how it impacts the whole community there?
Probably a mix of all of it, I guess.
Probably. It's definitely more than just a horse race. There's a lot there if you want to dig deeper into the history or the economics.
For sure. Well, thanks for diving into this with us today. Lots to chew on.